catch up. All right, we'll get us started. That should be up and rolling. Hello, everybody. Thanks for joining us, or welcome if you didn't know you were joining us and this just popped up on your feed. But you should stay here and keep watching because this will be really helpful. I'm Ryan Isaac with Dentist Advisors, and today we're joined by Dentist Advisors pal, Adrian Leffler from My Social Practice. Adrian, thanks for joining us, man. How you doing today?
I'm doing good, man. Thanks for
holding up in the house there. You cold? You're cold there.
Well, no, but this T-shirt's ugly, so I put my jacket on top of it.
That's fair. Good move, man. Hey, we're all working out of our houses now, so it's okay. So today, Adrian's going to walk us through. I guess first of all, if you're watching this later, this is being recorded. I don't even actually know what day it is anymore. I think it's like Friday, March 27th. I had to confirm 2020. So if you're watching this later, we're kind of in the middle of a lot of unknowns, uncertainty, a lot of shutdowns, government bills being passed, new legislation on unemployment rules. Everyone's out of work. Dentists are not working. So we're trying to maximize our downtime as much as possible and just kind of capitalize on learning new skills or implementing new systems or processes in our businesses while we have a little bit of time, some forced time here. So today, Adrian's got a really cool presentation on just some things that can be done right now to use social media better. Maybe start now and implement as business gets back up and going. But here's a really great start. So we'll kind of go through this, and we've got some resources at the end too for people to download, and that should be really helpful. So Adrian, if you want to give an intro at all to anything about My Social Practice so people know a little bit about what's going on, or feel free to jump right into this, man. But show's yours. We can get after this.
Before we move on to that, I want to know, should I buy Tesla right now?
Oh man, an actual Tesla?
No, the stock, man, the stock. Okay, listen, I told Reese, I sent a message to Reese 3 weeks ago. I said, I'm going to fire you as my financial advisor because I bought Tesla, like when it was $300, right?
Okay.
At $910 a share, I was like, I called Reese to joke with him to fire him, right? Like, I don't need your help anymore.
I bought Tesla. I'm good, man.
Yeah. Own, man.
No, I'm good now. I figured this whole thing out. You just buy. Yeah.
He said, we'll see. As if he knew this was going to happen. So I didn't know.
Yeah, premonitions,
right
man.
Now.
Reese Harper is one of the smartest people I've ever met, so I wouldn't put it past him. Yes, but that is the secret to success. You just pick one company that gives you a 300% return in a short period of time, put millions of dollars into it, and then you're done. That is the secret, actually. So congratulations.
Yeah, I just want to let you know I'll get you guys hired.
Oh, man. That's awesome. That's great.
Where were we? Sorry, I thought.
Yeah. We were on Tesla, but we can move on. So that is fascinating, though.
Yeah. All right. So My Social Practice. So we've been in the dental marketing, specifically social media marketing realm. I don't know if you want to call it that. We started in late 2009, so almost 11 years now. Mm-hmm. And we were kind of really early on it. So we were doing this social media marketing thing when Facebook was still kind of brand new at dentists. It was interesting. Anyway, it's turned out to be a great industry. We love social media. We love working with dentists. And so, in times like these, which is bizarre, what's kind of happened over the last few weeks, the question is how do you really use a tool like Facebook or Instagram or any of the social media accounts to, post content that's relevant, but not, you got to be careful about the message that you're sending out. So we put this presentation together to help dentists understand the tone that you should use in an event like this. And we get lots of questions like, should we be posting? How often? What kind of content? Blah, blah, blah. So anyway, I've got 9 kind of do's and don'ts about how to handle this current situation.
By the way, speaking of this, have you seen some crimes against social media being committed? Have you seen any pretty bad things, or has everyone been pretty quiet? I haven't seen any brands make any giant stupid marketing mistakes during this time. Maybe early, but
other than fake news stuff, that isn't kind of vetted, and
Sure.
But I think I think people have been handling this with a lot of care and sensitivity.
Yeah,
So
I
I've
think so
got
too.
some examples of here's the stuff you shouldn't
Cool.
do.
Great.
So
Let's do it.
that might answer it for you.
Okay.
So do you want me to just jump into it?
Yeah, let's go. Let's hit it. Yep.
All right, let's do it, man. Let's just do this thing. All right.
We'll
So
just go through.
just kind of as a primer on social media. So social media is typically three things. It helps you find the right kind of patients. When I say finding the right kind of patients, what I mean by that is social media doesn't help you find like discount patients because that's not the way it's used. It's helping you connect with the friends and the intimate connections of your current patients, which are the best types of patients to bring in because there's a level of trust
Right.
with those types of people. So that's one thing that it does. It strengthens relationships with your current patients through interactions, creating a better in-office experience, and then creating a continual connection online. And then obviously improves your reputation and practice culture. So I'm not going to talk about how to find new patients on social media because right now is not the time to send out any messaging about finding new patients, right?
Sure.
From a practice point of view. We're going to talk about how do we strengthen the relationships with our current patients and mostly the tone that you should use in terms of doing that. So that's what we're going to talk about today.
Cool.
All right. So social distancing, we all didn't even know what that was about.
Oh, are you already sick of it? I'm kind of already tired of that phrase, honestly.
Yeah, we're calling it physical distancing.
Yeah.
But all the stats of the social media participation stats, all the YouTube views, time and views, and Instagram, and so Facebook, it's like astronomically high right now. Advertising has actually gone down. So what you're seeing a lot of consumers spending time, but they're not buying things right now. They're consuming information, they're sharing, they're communicating, but they're not buying things. So what we're seeing is a lot of interactivity, but less of budget. So My Social Practice, we've cut our budget back, and most companies have cut their marketing advertising budgets back, but they're producing more content that's relevant to what we're going through. That's kind of what's happening right now. So we say it's physical distancing equals more social media, but doesn't necessarily mean advertising types of social media. It's more just good content. So step one, or I should say message one about what you should and shouldn't do is a big what you shouldn't do. So we all know what's going on. You don't need to let the world know that the coronavirus is here, and you don't need to make it scary. People are already freaked out. So these are some posts that we saw last week. I don't think these are happening much anymore because people are kind of aware of what's going on. But
yeah, it got scary quick. Yeah, that's what I think, man.
Really, really scary, really quick. There's my little Java command line tool. Comes up every 5 minutes, drives me crazy. Anyway, so I would not think that you've got any new information about the coronavirus, and I wouldn't turn it into a message of terror. Don't use red X's and things like that. Okay. So if you're going to post anything, and you should be posting, I'll talk about that later. Here is the tone as to what you should be posting. So I'm going to read this to you. This is a Facebook post message. To our patients, as you know, your care and safety and the safety of our team is top priority. As recommendations are changing rapidly regarding social distancing and congregating, if you have any questions regarding your dental care or have urgent concerns, please give us a call and send a direct message. We're here for you. We'll make sure that your needs are taken care of. Thank you for being our patient. Okay. It's not we're closed. It's not like don't come to the office. It's just, hey, we're here for you. We've kind of changed our priorities. We care. The tone is the right tone. Now that language right there is I have some posts. So if you're out there and you haven't posted anything because you don't know what to post, or you've been posting the wrong kind of message, in the downloadable kit that I have at the end of this, it's just free kit with a whole bunch of great content. In there are some posts with that language. You're welcome to go in. You can tweak the posts if you want, but I have them designed and built so you can take them and post them right to your Facebook page. Okay.
Cool.
So and then some other kind of like sensitive types of posts. We love our patients. We're here for you. Please call with any questions. Okay. The other thing that we have in the downloadable kit is a blog article. It's what we call a blog template, which is a customizable template, and it's basically saying, hey, based on recommendations by the CDC and the ADA, we're going to make some temporary changes to our schedule, but we're still here for emergency treatment, and then a kind of a positive note at the bottom. We're strong and work together. The red sections in this are sections that you, as a doctor or a team member, would answer. So you just put in your answer. So you can download this, copy it, answer the questions, and then post it to your blog. You can post it to Facebook. You can send it out as a newsletter. But it's just a kind of like, here's where we're at. This is what we're doing, and so forth. And that we've kind of crafted this message. It sounds really good. Okay. So post the right message is step one. Don't be scary. Just let everybody know you're still there for them. All right. Number 2, and cut me off, Ryan, if you want to jump in here on anything.
Yeah,
okay?
Sure.
Number 2, post responsibly. So in the day and age that we're in, where fake news is literally rampant, the code that you should kind of live by is, if you see something online, something's posted and it's some crazy information, sounds like it might not be true. What you want to do is you want to get 2 additional verifiable sources that to fact check it. You don't want to just hear about something and then, because it's crazy and it's nuts, post it, because a lot of times that stuff's not real.
That's
right?
how people like behave on social media, though, right? Like that's just kind of our gut reaction, is be like, oh my gosh, that's frightening. Let me just share this with people because they should know.
Well, yeah, and it appeals to the emotional kind of beings that we are, which is that we react in a fight or flight kind of model. And so we're learning now, after 10 years of a lot of social media, that we have to be careful about. We have to post responsibly.
I will ask you a question here that just makes me wonder, like, how does a company know what their limit is of should they be the messenger for like a pretty broad message that's outside of their scope? You know, how much should a dentist's office message about public health and safety? Or, you know, we're in our firm, we're doing the same thing. We're financial advisors. We invest money for people. How much should we be posting about someone else, like HR or legal matters with a new bill, when the other people are, you know, who professionals who spend their whole career doing that stuff are already kind of on top of that message?
Yeah, that's one of my points. Can I
cool. See, there you go. All right. I did read this, but I'm not skipping ahead on purpose. So
I think it's the next one.
Okay. All right.
I'll come back to that. All right. I was going to tell you a funny story that you guys know about because you're here in Utah. But you know, we had an earthquake last week.
Yeah. Well, I live in Phoenix. And earthquakes, top three things that scare me in life. Earthquakes might be number 1. And and aftershocks have been going.
Yeah. It's been nuts. So did Reese or anybody up here in Salt Lake tell you about the aftershock post that went out after the?
Yeah, I saw it too. My family was posting it to each other.
Freaking out because a tweet went out and it looked like it came from the University of Utah seismic blah 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 department.
Yeah.
And it said there was going to be a 9.0
at noon
aftershock within 2 hours.
Yeah.
So my kids lost their minds. Like they had 24-hour kids in the car pulled out of the garage. Like we were getting messages from and this thing got pushed all over
everywhere. Oh yeah.
Joke. It was stupid. So anyway, if you hear something crazy, make sure you check to see if it's fake news before you start looking like an idiot.
Yeah.
Post it. So
it's scary, man, because people act on that stuff and then it goes to so many people so quickly.
Yeah. Anyway, post responsibly. Number 3, be available. So when you post something on Facebook, there's an option to get messages. You want to turn that on, and that allows, after you've made the post, people to direct message you. So during this time, if you post anything, make sure you turn that on. And then the next thing you have to do is you've got to go into your settings in your Facebook page and turn on your notifications so that those direct messages will come to you. Or if you have your office manager, your marketing manager, whoever the person is that's in charge of like messaging in your office, that they have those messages coming to them. And if you don't have someone actually doing this, if you don't even know that Facebook messaging is a thing, like it's a thing. So we see practice is getting new patients and being direct messaged all the time, scheduling appointments. And if you're not watching it, then it's kind of a, it's kind of a turnoff, right? So anyway, it's really simple to set up. Okay. That's my boy right there. He's coming in here. He's bringing me crickets for my toads. My pet toads.
Bonus content. We get to watch the toads eat.
Like, they know they're not supposed to walk in here while I'm doing this. But
that's like I think that rule just got thrown out the door like 5 days ago with everyone. Lately, when Reese and I are going live, people are bringing him sandwiches and snacks like the whole time in the room. So like really,
yeah.
So
these are not my snacks. These are for my pet.
Yeah. All right. That's fair. Okay.
Anyway, all right. So number 3, the next thing is there's a kind of a thing going on in the dental industry called virtual consults. Virtual consults can be effective during this time. I think not as necessarily a lead generation type tool, because that's usually how they're used, but as a way for you to, as a doctor, to connect with your patients who have questions.
Yeah.
So I would say at the very minimum, you have like some type of a Facebook Live option, or use Zoom or Google Hangouts, and you let your community and your patients know, hey, we may not be in the office, but I am willing to spend time to do a Facebook Live or something like that, because that'll be really, really helpful to let your patients know that you're there. My kids all go to an ortho office, and they all did their appointments yesterday through some kind of it was a mobile app that the doctor set up. So
cool.
And my wife came to me, she says, "You're not going to believe it. They're not open, but they scheduled this appointment. They're a super awesome office." She was like really impressed with the fact that they were still willing to.
Yeah, and you think about that. Yeah, we recently had a guy named Dr. Brian Harris on the show the other day talking about that. You probably know him. And like right now it's definitely an emergency tool, but think about the impression that makes on people during this time when everyone's trying to give as much as they can and help as much as possible. And to think like, oh, my dentist did this during this time when they were closed. That'll leave an impression on patients for sure.
It absolutely does. And it has on us with our orthodontist, and it just seems like a normal business practice in this kind of a situation. So, but you don't have to have like a whole bunch of software. I mean, literally you can do it with your phone.
Yeah.
You just go FaceTime on with your phone or whatever. So, but you need to let your audience know, let your patients know that you're willing to do that. Whether you call them and say, let's do it, or you post messages saying FaceTime me or whatever, they need to know that you're willing to do it. All right. Number 4, provide relevant content. Don't need to tell anybody the coronavirus is here, right? So none of this stuff is at all helpful. This kind of goes to your question, Ryan, like what do you post? Yeah. So we would say the way to determine what you should or should not post or repost or share is content that is hyper specific to your community.
Okay.
So you don't need to publish content about Donald Trump saying something, because
or Italy or
none of that stuff matters.
They can go find it somewhere else. Yeah.
Yeah. It's everywhere, right? But if it's the Metro Denver Dental Society and you're in Denver and they're talking about something relevant to your city, absolutely repost that. Okay. And I would say repost it immediately. If this is published yesterday morning at 9 a.m. and I'm looking to repost it now, everybody already knows about it. So you got to be super quick in terms of resharing content, reposting content.
Okay.
So does that answer your question?
Yeah, totally. Yep.
I think you filter it by hyper sensitive to your community. Really localized information is better than big information.
Yeah, great.
Now I'm gonna turn my keynote on. I'm gonna play it because here's 2 messages that I've got actual recording for, and I want the audience to hear these 2 doctors, what they're saying. So these are the idea is to be real and relevant, and record a personal video. Both of these are on Instagram. One's an Instagram story, and the other one's an Instagram just feed post. But the tone and the message is really super cool. So I'm going to turn this on and then play these so you can hear the audio. Are we still good? You guys can still see the screen?
Still see it. Yep.
Here we go.
Hi, everybody. I want you to be aware that at Beverage Dental, we are practicing social distancing, so we will not be in office, but we are available for emergencies and for any questions that you may have. If you call our number, 408-267-2303, you'll be forwarded to the doctor on call if you have an emergency. Otherwise, please message us on Facebook, on Instagram. One of us, Dr. Beverage, I will get back to you right away if you have any questions about how to take care of yourself during this time. Any dental questions, want to know how things are going and how we can best help you, please just shoot us a message, and we're here for you 24/7, okay?
And here's Jack at Temple City Dental Care.
Hi, this is Dr. Jack Ongula, Temple City Dental Care. I'm just reaching out to you guys to let you know that we're here for you. We'll be here. We'll have a modified schedule for this week, next week, and the following week. We're pretty much just following the precautions set down by the American Dental Association, the California Dental Association, and the Governor of California. We see you guys as family. We're here for you. If you call us at 626-285-3161, you'll have a friendly, familiar voice at the other end of the phone, and they'll be here to support and do whatever we need to do to help you guys. We see you as family. We're here for you, and we'll get through this together. So thanks, and don't hesitate calling us. Bye.
Yeah, very cool.
Good messages. Hey, we're not closed. We're following the the precautions of the ADA and the CDC. Here's our phone number. We're here. We want to talk with you if you need help. Blah blah blah. So,
and it's just really it's real. I think a lot of people get intimidated with doing video. Like it's got to be professionally done, and there's got to be a script. But it's just very human and very normal and real, conversational. That's friendly to see.
Yeah, that's exactly what you want. Here's another example. These are Facebook Live videos. So our recommendation is that most everybody's kind of like got closed doors except for emergency attention, basically. The question that most of your patients are going to have is, what's an emergency and what's not an emergency? Like, I don't even know what would be considered an emergency necessarily in terms of dental, and I know the industry fairly well. So I think one great Facebook Live video would be to go on Facebook Live, let your audience know your new hours, let them know that you're here to help, and then say, hey, we're still here for emergencies. This is what an emergency procedure would be. And if that's the case, you give us a call. Okay.
Yeah, that's a good point. I don't know if a lot of people know what that would constitute an emergency procedure. Yeah, that's a good point.
Pain, sure, yeah, but what else would be considered an emergency? Broken tooth. I don't know. So you just want to let your audience know what's an emergency and let them know how to contact you if that's the case. Super helpful.
Cool.
Good content. Your patients will enjoy that.
By the way, I'm just wondering, like, are you seeing a lot of offices kind of doing this intuitively, or is it something that most need to be prompted or reminded that these are good ideas?
Look, right now during this crazy time, dentists are like, all of a sudden they're going, maybe I should post on Facebook and social media. I mean, we have a hard time helping doctors understand how to just post in normal times,
Yeah.
So right now, no, it's not very intuitive. I think that there's a small percentage of dentists who understand how to use social media correctly, but most don't. So hopefully these are good.
Cool. Yeah, I think this is super helpful. Like really clear, easy things to do.
All right. Find ways to serve. This might require a little bit of creativity and some thought where you're not, you can't serve in certain ways because you can't get near anybody, but I'll give you a few examples. Providence Health and Services in Montana, they basically made a post that says, hey, anybody that's not that's a non-health care related company that has PPE supplies, please donate those to ... So, I mean, I know we've got face masks and other types of PPE equipment. You maybe donating that to the local hospital might be something that you could do as a dentist. Another dentist here in Colorado, they donated surgical gowns. These doctors, they actually, or Twist Dental, they actually went out and bought, because you can't go to restaurants because all the restaurants are shut down. They went and bought gift cards, like $5 and $10 gift cards. And they started sending these out to their community, telling their patients, hey, we're supporting our local businesses. Even though you can't go there now, here's a gift card. As soon as we're open back up, please go spend your money.
Yeah, that's cool.
Restaurant. So that's another kind of interesting idea. So if you think about there's going to be something that's relevant to your community, and it just requires you to think about it and then execute on it. So Mr. Rogers is a big fan. I'm a big fan of Mr. Rogers. Grew up on Mr. Rogers, and I saw this quote come through a couple days ago, so I added this slide. It says, when I was a young boy and I would see scary things in the news, my mother would say to me, look for the helpers. You'll always find people who are helping. So your task as a doctor and as a leader and in your community is to try and become a helper in some way. Look for some kind of an opportunity. Even if it's literally just sending notes to your patients. I've seen some doctors baking cookies, believe it or not, dropping them off on a front doorstep and then, saying hi from the car kind of thing. So whatever it might be, look for an opportunity while you have the time, because you won't have it as soon as you come out of this, and it's not going to take long to come out of this. You're going to be so busy. You're not going to be
slammed. Yep.
Do this kind of stuff. So keep posting. So some doctors have called in saying, I'm not going to post. I want to put everything on hold. Like, now is the time to publish content. One of the most important ways that social media actually generates new patients is through what we call social proof, which it's not necessarily the main. It's not, social media is not really an awareness campaign. It's not like a billboard where people are forced to see the message, but it is the tool, or I shouldn't say tool. It's in the patient's buying process, right? Becoming a potential patient, finding out who you are, and actually making a phone call to schedule an appointment. In the middle there, after they've heard about you, they do research. They check you out online. They look at what you're posting. They look at your Google reviews. All the data shows that everybody's doing that. So now is a time where you can start publishing content that's relevant and it's sensitive to the situation. And whatever advertising you do, even if it's referral programs through your own current patients, they're going to look at what you're publishing. They're going to see how you posted content during this time and kind of who you are and relatable to, this kind of crazy time that we're in. So absolutely keep posting. Our recommendation is post 3 to 5 times a week minimum, and post the type of content that we're recommending. The other thing that happens is when you post on Facebook, there's a timestamp. And I've done this. I've gone to Facebook pages for local businesses, and when I see the timestamp is 6 months old or a month,
oh yeah, you just leave. Yeah,
you're just like, are these guys even open? Do they even care?
Yeah.
And so you want to have that timestamp be something relatively, soon.
It's crazy how that's like 5 years ago, the hallmark of a business that's kind of on top of things was just having a clean website. Now that's like, it's current content. If content hasn't been generated in the last 7 days, you're not on top of things.
Yeah, they just think you haven't got it together. Especially, sorry guys, especially the generation younger than me, right? I mean, they all grew up on this, and if you're not on top of it, they're like, who are these people? So
yeah, you're just not involved.
Yeah, so post the right kind of stuff. In the kit that we've got here, I've got a whole bunch of very interesting, fun kind of posts, or you can take those ideas and do something on your own, or you can take what we've given you, but stuff like, would you rather live without music or TV? Here's some others that are in that kit. if you don't like the imagery, I mean, we do try to do our best job to come up with graphics, but if you want to take the idea and come up with a different way to
cool.
something similar, run with it. But these are good things to do. Drop a happy song in the comments. What's on your social distancing reading list, all related to kind of what's going on. And then number 8, share good news. I know it's kind of hard to find good news, but
there.
It's there. It's there. There's a lot there. And if you look through Instagram and Facebook, some of the trending stuff, there's lots of really, really good content that's being created where people are promoting, they're finding people that are doing good things, and they're resharing this content to help people stay positive. So
yeah, I think it kind of goes what you were just saying too. Some of the best news out there are the helpers.
Yeah.
It's cool to see like human ingenuity and corporations doing things to give back that are just like super creative, and they're sacrificing a lot to do it. It is really cool.
Yeah. I would look for stuff local if you can find local kind of philanthropic stuff that's going on. Like these examples, Middle West Spirits produces hand sanitizer for first responders. These kids at the Otterbein University set up childcare services. So you can find local stuff like that you can repost, then it's more relevant.
Cool.
So, and then be optimistic. This is not going to last long. I know that people are freaking out, but we're going to bounce back from this pretty quick. And you need to keep that attitude through the whole time. So publish content that's fun and interesting. And we have a whole bunch of signs in this downloadable kit that you can take. You can print them off at home. If they're spread out, they can print them off, and you can take photos from your home and post content. Here are some examples of some of those signs. Staying positive. We care about our community. Stay safe, so on and so forth. So really, this little kit is designed to just help you have some ideas to what to do right
and
now.
We can repost these links too in the someone can see
I'll
them.
give you the links, and then the page is right here. So I'll send it to you guys.
Yeah, we'll repost it in the links of the video too at the bottom.
And that's what I got. That's what I got for you.
Man, that's really cool. Thanks for thanks for doing this. A couple questions here. Maybe some people might be wondering is like, as we do come out of this and we finally get back to normal, how does some of these things, is this just a repeatable process? It seems like a lot of these things are good standards to practice anyway in social media.
Well, I would say a lot of the stuff I've shared, the don'ts are all relatable to things that, are right now with the virus. But the other things, the do's are absolutely consistent. It's just consistent posting. So, the idea of like being optimistic, I mean, come on, like obviously be optimistic. Look for philanthropic and other ways to donate and serve in your community. And most dentists are already doing stuff like that. I found that most dentists are doing a lot of this kind of stuff. They have great cultures. They have great teams. They just don't know how to talk about it.
How to share it. Yeah.
They're like, they're like prideful and so forth. So if you follow us online, we've kind of found a really good tone on how dentists can promote content, promote themselves online without coming too aggressive, where it's not salesy and it's not pompous or whatever.
And where can people find your stuff? Where's the best place to go?
Just if you go to our website, mysocialpractice.com, this kit, if you right on the front page, we have a link to it. You can just link it and download it. There's a few other webinars that we've done. There's some other signs that we've created, all relatable to what we're going through. So,
well, thanks for taking time today, man. I think this is really helpful stuff and really applicable. Thanks for putting it together and thinking about it. Best of luck to you guys and everyone out there watching and listening. And we'll put the links below. Anything else, Adrian? Is that good?
Buy Tesla.
Got it all off your chest?
Hurry up, buy Tesla.
I'm highly regulated, so I can't say that stuff to a big group of strangers. But
I'm not. Buy Tesla.
You can say whatever you want. Anyway, thanks for being here, man.
Hey, I went camping like last weekend because my kids were losing their minds in the house, right?
Yeah.
And we're out camping, and I look up and I see Elon Musk's satellites in a line going across the sky because he's got the Starlink things. He's launching a satellite cell phone service.
Okay.
It was so crazy.
How did you know it was like his satellites?
Because he's the only one that's doing it. They're in low orbit and they're all tracking each other. I saw some posts about it. It's freaky. It's like all of a sudden, you go camping and you look up in the sky and you're like, there's something beyond me,
Oh yeah. Elon Musk is out there
or something, right? And then you see Elon Musk's satellites.
What a weird!
Holy cow, dude! Somebody's looking at me.
I mean, what a weird. That's a juxtaposition to think about. Like the world is shut down because of a virus, which has happened since the dawn of time.
Yeah.
Humanity brought to its knees by Mother Nature, but then at the same time, looking up and seeing Elon Musk's futuristic tech floating in space, watching you.
It was so wild.
That's weird. Man, thanks for being here. Really appreciate it. Best of luck to everyone. We'll catch you next time. Thanks, man.
Thanks, guys.
Yep. Thanks.